Let us take a look at the two founders of Flipboard, Mike McHugh and Evan Dahl. Mike McHugh was the oldest of six children and was responsible for his family's livelihood with his mother after his father passed away in Mike's teenage years. Mike was he actually received a congressional nomination to go to U.S. Air Force Academy, but he never went to school because he wanted to stay back and help out with the family to raise his younger siblings. So Mike actually joined IBM as a programmer after high school, and in 1989, he founded his first startup, Paper Software, and he didn't really have any money. So what he did was, on a part-time basis, he was digging ditches and building houses to raise funds for his software company. In 1996, Mike McHugh sold Paper Software to Netscape for $20 million. As we can see, Mike has such a strong character, and his success actually exemplifies the American dream. In 1999, Mike founded Tellme, a voice recognition software company, and later sold it to Microsoft in 2007 for 800 million US dollars. After working for Microsoft for a few years, Mike McHugh proceeded to found Flipboard with Evan Dahl with $10.5 million VC backing from Twitter's Jack Dorsey and Facebook's Dustin Moskovitz and other Silicon Valley venture capital firms. Between 2010 and 2012, Mike also served on the board of Twitter. Let's take a look at Evan Dahl, the co-founder of Flipboard. Evan Dahl was one of the earliest engineers for iPhone team at Apple. So Evan was actually critical for Flipboard's product design and also technical management. Let's look at the history of Flipboard. I have divided Flipboard into four phases: idea phase, startup phase, growth phase, and also industry leadership competition phase. In 2009, Mike McHugh came up with the idea of Flipboard because he was reading an article on the internet, and he actually read it again on a magazine, a print magazine that is, on the plane. And he thought that, well, the experience that he received from reading the magazine versus reading the article on the internet was drastically different. Reading it on the magazine was just a much better presentation of the article. And so he thought that, well, it'd be great if he could find a way to deliver beautiful content and ads on mobile devices. So in the second half of 2009, Flipboard was actually geared to design for iPad. Of course, they had to take the risk of not knowing how iPad was going to look like in 2010. So between 2010 and 2011, this was Flipboard's startup phase. In 2010, Flipboard launched on iPad first, and then iPhone. Flipboard also acquired Allerdale, which was a web intelligence analysis software to beef up Flipboard's technical capability. In 2012 to 2013, Flipboard was going through a growth phase, where in 2012, Flipboard released a version that supported for Android and also another version for China. In 2013, Flipboard was designed for Windows 8. In 2013, Flipboard integrated shopping catalogs such as Banana Republic and others into its distribution. Between 2014 and now, Flipboard has been going through an industry leadership competition phase. In March 2014, Flipboard bought CNN's Zeit, which is an algorithm-driven discovery engine to help users with content recommendations. In September 2014, Flipboard acquired UltraVisual, a visual network for inspiration, expression, and collaboration. In February 2015, Flipboard for web browser version was born. If we look at the investors for Flipboard, we see that some of the big brand venture capital firms all invested in Flipboard. Kleiner Perkins, Index, Insight, Goldman Sachs, Samsung, and of course, Jack Dorsey and Dustin Moskovitz. Index Ventures' Danny Reimer once said, Mike is one of the best examples of what an entrepreneur should be in my business. He is passionate, laser focused, and wants to change the world. So, what is the exit strategy for Flipboard's investors? It is very likely that, well, actually, it is already in the public news that Twitter is one of the major potential acquisition buyers for Flipboard. However, I think there are probably other potential buyers out there, such as Yahoo, Samsung, Facebook, Microsoft, and Google. Flipboard seems like a great company, but what are some of the future challenges that Flipboard may face? So there's something to think about. There are 5 questions that I've laid down here. Number one, will Flipboard continue to leverage beautiful as its core competency? Number two, will Flipboard be able to compete with competitors like Apple News that just recently launched? Number three, does Flipboard's growth strategy work? Number four, would Flipboard benefit from an IPO strategy versus an MMA strategy? Number five, will content publishers continue to support Flipboard? There are no right or wrong answers to these questions, but I'm hoping that the audience will have an opportunity to think about these questions. Thank you.